This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome back. In this session, we'll talk about how to deal with date, time, culture, and also the uptime in PowerShell. Welcome back. In this PowerShell session, we'll talk about how to deal and utilize the date, time, uptime, culture related attributes and parameters in PowerShell. Okay, so primarily with PowerShell, the get date commandlet is the primary commandlet that we deal with to display the current date and time on the PowerShell console. And also, there are several other date and time properties that are used several times throughout the regular operations work or when you are creating a PowerShell script. These two are primarily very important. The reason I say that, see, when you deal with any operational activities like monitoring or taking a backup or doing some archiving or doing any activities in operations, like during a weekend you want to perform some maintenance activity or you want to trigger some activity in a scheduled window. So for everything, date and time is very, very vital and very important. If the time is having a mismatch or it is misconfigured, then it will have a very big impact on your production systems. So yeah, there are many different important aspects why we need to understand date and time clearly in um, the scripting or while you create some program and so on. So it is very common that we generally work with date and time via PowerShell or any programming. So many scripts require simple or complex date calculations. Okay, for such things, we need to come up with the logic to deal with that. So let's start. The actual demo here. Okay, so there are a couple of formatting things which we will shortly discuss. So primarily in this session, we'll discuss about these 12 different examples, which will give you a clear idea on what are the different aspects we will use the date and time when you are in a particular system. Okay, so let's go start with each of the things one by one. So the basic commandlet is get hyphen date. So if you run this, you'll get the complete day, date, the year, and then the time with the format AM, PM being displayed. Okay, so the universal time clock is actually the general option. And if you want to understand the complete properties, methods that are there along with your get date, okay, you can just say get date followed by the pipeline member and then the get member. So this is a type which belongs to system date and time. Okay, so date and time is the default member option through which you are fetching all the different time value or the details around that. See, even you can just fetch time around the millisecond also. See, if I go and type get date, okay, let me just try to type it here. It should give me the set of options. Okay, let me try to do that. Okay, it gives you millisecond option also. Okay, so which means um, even the date and time can be dealt in milliseconds. Even if you want to execute something, it's not just a minute or a day or a date, but you can also deal with seconds and milliseconds. This was actually introduced in PowerShell version 3, and prior to that we did not have that option to handle things or schedule activities at the millisecond, but you have it now. Okay, so there are many built-in methods, built-in properties, built-in node property, script property that you can use and leverage. See, even the script property here is very, very important, and I can just show you here. So if you want to understand how many days are there in this specific um, October month of 2022, you can just get that. And similarly, if you want to get something parsed, or if you want to get the parsing exactly, so you can see that there are 31 days in the month of October, and even you can see that October 10th has got it falls on Monday and so on. So you can also parse, but here the important thing is you can use a different property here. You can use the script property with the square brackets followed by a couple of semicolons and then the examples here. Okay, so if you want to understand the complete date with formatting of the entire list, you can run get-date followed by format list. You can either run the format list, or you can just say, let me do one thing. You can also just run this command. You can just say FL star. So there won't be much difference. Maybe the alignment or the way that it displays the result might be a little different. See, if you look at here, so this has come second line, but then all the informations are pretty much the same. So it displays the day of the week, and then what millisecond, what kind of time zone it is, everything. Okay, so you get the complete information about the date if you do the format hyphen list. Either if you say FL, it's the alias name, right? So you can get that. Or if you want to get a specific month, or if you want to get the culture of your system, you can also go and do that. See, get hyphen date, the current month is ninth month. And similarly, if you want to get the time, or if you want to get both date, time, everything, so you can just go and get everything. Okay, so let me give an example here. So if I want to get the current day or a current time and so on, you can get it. See, currently it is 11th, and this is the month, ninth month. Okay, so you can get that, and even you can get the culture here, whether you want the date or the time or the time format. So you can see it is following the Gregorian calendar. Okay, and it is the first day and Sunday. So you get complete information around your current time, I mean culture setup on your system. Okay, so coming down, we'll go with the other examples. So generally, you might have to add 20 days if you want to get some performance metrics, or if you want to do take some monitoring information, or if you want to deal with some operations activity. You can also go and add specific days to the particular current date, and then get it in a specific format. See, for example, I'll just run this. So this is going to add 20 days to the current date. So which will be, yeah, so first of October. Okay, first of October is 20 days from here. Okay, so maybe let me run 10 days from here so that you get understand that properly. And I also have the format of the data listed in this way. So it is like 10 days from now is 21st. Okay, it's clear now. And if you add the negative value or minus here, it is going to subtract 20 days from now. Okay, so it went back to August 22nd. So you can also deal with adding both days, hours, minutes, and so on. And you can see to the current date, I'm adding 2 days and 3 hours. So if I add 2 days and 3 hours to the current time here, it should be 13th of September, 8:35. Okay, so that is what we are seeing here. So you can also add these properties or add this particular methods along with your current date and so on. Okay, you can also get a specific date or like a day around 1947. See, if I just run this, it says August 15th was Friday, and that's when we got the independence, right? So you can just run some random example. You can also get the date on this particular 19th of 11th month, which is November. Okay, 19th November is Saturday. And also you can add, subtract hours. You can also do some a lot of things. So these examples are very important. Okay, when you talk about formatting, okay, so there are two types of formatting in your time or in PowerShell. Okay, one is the default .NET formatting where the capital M, single capital M represents the full month, and the double capital M, it represents the. Okay, let me run all these commands. Let's see what it. Okay, so here, since we have this particular hyphen and followed by characters, it's not displaying it, but you can get it. Okay, so currently it displays only the full month and date, September 11. And if I just say double M, it will display the number of the month. Okay, currently it's the ninth month. Similarly, if you want a three character SCP, that belongs to September, right? So you can also get that. So this is the default .NET formatting with which you can get the date, time, and then it can be displayed in 12-hour format, or it can be displayed in 24-hour format. So you can get all those data with this. So there are certain things which you need to understand, but you don't have to memorize anything. So there is one more formatting in PowerShell, which is called Unix formatting. So nowadays Unix, PowerShell has become a cross-platform open source scripting language, right? So it also supports the Unix format. So M represents the month number, and then the year, and then the time zone and format. So you can also run a different example. You can also get the date in Unix format also within PowerShell. If I run this, it is again going to get me the formatting, which is an Unix formatting. And currently it says Zulu time zone. So that's why it says +00. Okay, so let's come back. So formatting, there are a few more examples also. If you want to get the time in long date format, and if you want to get the month format, so you can run these examples. Okay, I'll just run all the examples together, and this is also getting recorded, right? You can also try by typing in the same. So you can see that it has given me all the output. Example of long date and short time format, and example of the general date format. Everything, the output has come here. So which means like the write host is working pretty much good, and you got all the results here. Okay, now coming back to the examples. Okay, I'm just going to display the date from the output, or if you want to just display the time alone, or if you want to get both date and time, you can use these examples hyphen display hint. Okay, you can see that the first example here, it has given me the complete date, and the second example, it has given me just the time alone, and the last example, it has given together. Okay, both the date as well as the time. Okay, you can use the hyphen display hint to specifically fetch only the date or time, or whatever you want to. And if you want to get the current time zone that is sent on your machine, you can also go and say get hyphen time zone. So whatever we do in PowerShell, okay, so currently it is coordinated universal time zone, right? Also, the support for daylight saving is mentioned as false, which means the daylight savings is not set actually. Okay, so you can, I'll show you a quick example. Okay, so since we are here on time zone, I'll show you this. Okay, let me show you how PowerShell works effectively. So currently I'm just having an open screen on the time zone, and let me minimize this. Okay, let's try this. Okay, and I'm just having it open just for the sake of showing you how the command line works, or the PowerShell works. I want to set the time zone now. So in order to set the time, okay, I think that was a different example. Okay, I'm jumping a bit here, but then I'll just show you something. So here, okay, it doesn't have any example. Currently it is coordinated time. And if I want to set it for Pacific time zone, or if I want to change it, I can just go and change it. I'll just say Pacific Standard Time. Okay, let's try this. See, the reason I'm showing you both in GUI and graphical, the reason is the command line and the PowerShell, it works real time. See, even the highlighter here will move to Pacific time zone. See, that's the beauty of working on PowerShell. The effect is very immediate. There is no waiting time, there is no delay. And if you don't know like what kind of time zones that are available, you can just go and say what are the different time zones that are there. I think I had that command somewhere here. Yeah, the get hyphen time zone is the command where you can go and get all the time zone that are available. Okay, there is an hyphen gap here. There shouldn't be any gap. Okay, see, these are the different time zone that are there. So if you want to specifically set something, you can just go and change as you want. If you want to set it for Indian Standard Time or Arabian Standard Time or whatever you want to, you can just go and update your system. Okay, and if you want to find the day of a particular date, I think we already talked about a similar one, but then this is a little different. See, for example, I'm using uh, a different example here. I want to just get the day of the year on 2090. It is like close to 68 years from now. Okay, it says the day is actually 275th day of that particular year. Okay, so in an year we might have 365 or 360 days, 360 66 days based on the leap year and so on. But then here on this particular 2090th year, 2nd of October is actually 275th day. Okay, that's what it is providing here. And I can see again similarly, like the very last date of 31st 12 2022. I don't think it's a leap year now. Okay, it's only 365. Maybe if I'm trying it for 2020, it might show 366 possibly. Let's see. I think it was a leap year. Yeah, perfect. Okay, 2020 was a leap year. Okay, so let me clear the screen. Now let's move on to the next example. I want to convert the time zone to UTC. See, currently the format is set to the normal time format. Now I want to convert it to the universal time. So it will say AM, PM, and all those things. It will be in a perfect format. Okay, so it has converted. So you can also use this command to convert to universal time, or you can convert it to short time staying, or if you want to just have only the time alone, you can also get this, run this command. It says the time alone, it gives the date alone. You can also just fetch specific information and you can convert that also. Okay, so finally, I think we are going to get in touch with the time span. This is what we might use for getting some performance metrics from a particular day to a particular time or a particular end date. Okay, so you can use the command new-time span to fetch those details. So there are two commands that I've ran here together. The first one, I'm asking what is the new time span on for the days 20 days, and then the new time span on the next command, I'm having a end date and getting the difference on how much hours and so on. So it has given me that it is having a time difference of, let me tell you. So it says there is a difference of 69 days, 13 hours, and so on. So the reason it says 69 days, the command that I've used here, I've converted it for, let me see, 20th of November. Okay, 20th of November is 69 days from now. Okay, that's what it is responding here. Okay, even you can use this other example with this start date and end date. Okay, so here in this example, I've just given a uh, taken the current date as the get date, and then the end date will be 20th of November, and I'm checking what is the time difference. Okay, so it says it is 69 days, and then this many minutes, milliseconds, and so on. Okay, so it has given me the perfect time difference. Okay, so a lot of cases you might be using it. Also, in some time, the daylight savings might be changing very frequently for some countries, so you have to be very careful to make sure that the time zone settings are set to true and so on. Okay, so on 11th of today, okay, which is September, so the time zone is time daylight savings is set to yes. Yeah, true. So there are many examples. There are many conversion options which you can do. Even these kind of examples, you can convert it and create some files or folders to create separate folders for separate days, logs, and so on. Okay, so the next example, we are going to set the date. So far, we have been fetching the date, time, and so on. Now, if I want to change the date to 6th of June or June, I've just changed it. Okay, so now the time has changed here, but then I've got the auto adjust. So that's the reason it came back to 11th of November. See, I'll just show you that. Okay, the minute I change it, it gets reflected in the system, 6th of June. But then after a minute, okay, it goes and checks whether I have set to sync with my NTP server. Yes, it is configured to do that. So it is changing it automatically. Okay. So next, you can also set both the date and add days, time, and so on. You can also change, adjust the time by 10 minutes or you can do it. Okay, so you can see that now the time has changed to 10:36. You can also adjust the time by plus 10, which means if I remove the minus here, it will add 10 minutes from now. Currently, my time is saying 10:46 in this PC. If I want to change it to 10:56, it will change it. See, it has changed to 10:57. Okay, so you can add 3 days or you can add certain things. So you can do a lot of different things. Okay, I've already shown the example to set the time zone. I've changed it to Pacific time zone already. And even I can get both the date as well as the culture from my machine, and you can change it to different languages. For example, if you want to change it to Spanish or different language, you can also do that. Okay, and this is very, very important, the timestamp. Okay, for example, if you're generating a log files or if you're generating some performance measures or metrics from your machine, you might have to create some folders, and that folder can be named against the specific timestamp to distinguish whether this log belongs to a particular date or time or particular time difference and so on. See, now if I just go and say this, let's see if it creates a folder. I'll just call this as stan. Okay, so here under the C drive stan folder, it should go and create a folder with this type of directory. See, it has created this particular name. Okay, and let's go and check it here. Okay, instead of showing it, I'll just go here, go to my C drive, go to my stan folder. It has created it, and you can see that it has created a folder with the current date, time, and so on. So whatever log files that gets created or any files that gets created will be stored under this specific timestamp. Okay, you can use the timestamp command to do that. Okay, so what are the other examples? I think we have covered all the different examples that we plan to do. One last example is how to use that in real time with all the commands that you have learned now. Okay, you can get the event log specifically to the system logs, and only you want to filter it by error, and you can get the date for the last 12 hours. You want to get the event logs that belongs to the last 12 hours here, minus 12. Okay, so it brings me three different or four event IDs with which belongs to the system related event log for the last 12 hours. Okay, so these are some examples. Okay, so when you learn anything related to date, time, or time zone, okay, so there are only very few commands: get hyphen date, get hyphen time zone, and then you have a command called culture, and then there is a command called timestamp. So these are the commands that we generally deal with: date, time, and the culture. But when it comes to uptime, uptime is a metric that is very, very important, that denotes how long the machine was operational or how long the computer was available on the available online to provide application related services. Okay, so PowerShell is mainly used for configuration management and task automation, and with that you need to have your system up and running, and you can get that uptime in multiple different ways in your system. But then from the PowerShell, okay, I'll show you how to get that. See, in your task manager, if you go to performance, here you will see the uptime. Okay, so here it is. My machine was online for the last 1.5 hours. Similarly, you can run a simple command uptime to get how long your system is up and running and so on. Okay, I think there is a command. There is no command let, but there used to be a command. Okay, similarly, you can just go to your CPU also, and then you can get it. Okay, let me try something here. Okay, there are many ways to get it. I think you can get it from your sim instance, or you can also get it from your okay, let me run this sim instance. Okay, Win32 underscore operating system. Okay, well, let me just select the last boot up time. Yeah, so it did give me the result. But I thought there was a command, but then it doesn't work in, okay, it's not there. Okay. There used to be a command in Linux, I guess, not in Windows. Okay, so you can also get the last boot time, how long it was available. Even you can go and get the event ID 1002. That tells you like when the machine got rebooted or when the machine got uh, hold on 1 minute. Let me check this. Get Windows event. Yeah, it is there. And here I want to just get the provider name which belongs to event log. And I just want to filter where object underscore ID. I think 1002. Okay, is the event ID that belong to once again, yeah, 1000 belong to the machine related. Okay. Okay, just leave that. Okay, so you can also filter the event by when the machine got booted. I think 6004 or 6005 and 1002. These IDs belong to the machine uptime. Okay, let me see. I thought there is a time get uptime or get. It's okay. No, okay. I thought it was there. Okay. So I'm already running on administrator, right? Okay. Then why it is not showing? Let me try with direct PowerShell. Okay, it's not recognized. Can you check the spelling? Okay. Okay, fine. Leave it. I thought like there used to be a command called get hyphen uptime. Okay, there isn't, but yeah. So you can also use this specific commandlet sim instance, or you can use the WMI to get the uptime on your specific system. Okay. So even I thought there is one more location where you can get that. I think under CPU or yeah, here it is. Okay, yeah, the same area. Okay, then fine. Okay, so this is what I thought of conveying. So what we have discussed on this particular session, we discussed about the get date commandlet. We talked about the get time zone commandlet. We also discussed about the timestamp, and we discussed about the new time span commandlet. So these are the three important areas which we discussed. Okay, get date, get time zone commandlet, and then the date and time class, as well as the new time span. Okay, thank you for listening.